Good afternoon. Welcome to Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today, I believe. Last time I checked, things change rapidly. And welcome. Thanks for joining me. It looks like I've been kicked out of the chat again. I guess I should have checked that out before I got on here. I don't know why. This keeps happening. Let's see. Hey, I remembered this time. So we are on. Welcome. Forgive that minute. I think we've come to the day where I don't even know what to say anymore. So Trump pardoned a sheriff who was convicted of taking $75,000 for selling badges. Julia, what's up? Sasanta, yes, I must say, I should have started with that, I guess. Sasanta was amazing. If you don't know, Sasanta is Maynard James Keenan's 61st birthday celebration tour with Primus, Pussifer, and a Perfect Circle, which I went to on Saturday night, and it was amazing. One of the best concerts I've been to in a while. Very good, very good. It was interesting because the way they did it, all the bands were set up at the same time. So they had three drum sets set up on the top, and the screen would come on and it would say, it'd be like, I think it started with Pussifer. It was like Pussifer, and then Pussifer comes out. They play like 5 or 6 songs, and then the lights go down and it'll say Primus, and then the lights come back on and Primus plays 5 or 6 songs, and then same thing. It'll be like Perfect Circle, and then Perfect Circle comes on. They play 5 or 6 songs, and then they take a little intermission, a couple minutes, and then they came back, and they did it in a different order. It was like Primus, Pussifer, Perfect Circle, and then then they did like a long intermission, and then they came back and they did the same kind of thing, except they all played together sometimes. And then at some points they had 3 drummers playing at the same time. It was amazing. It was pretty fucking amazing. And I've seen all those bands separately before, multiple times, and it wasn't the same as this one. It was different. It was really cool. And Primus is on fire right now. I don't know. I mean, it sucks because Herb left. But I don't know if the getting a new drummer re-energize them. I don't know, but they sound fucking amazing. Like, and there is no doubt. I mean, to me, it's not even a debate. Like, there is no one on the planet like Les Claypool. He plays the bass better than anyone that I've ever seen. Oh, you're going on Thursday? Yes. You will not be disappointed. Make sure you get there early and you don't miss nothing, because from start to finish, it's an amazing show. It was funny because when they started, there was Pussifer was playing, and you're like looking down there, you're like, where the fuck is Maynard? Like, he's on the screen, like there's a camera on him, and you can see him, but I couldn't see him. Like, where the fuck is he? He was like way back in the back where there's like a door or you could come out from the backstage, and he was like in the doorway. You know, like you had to like really search around, like where the fuck is he at? He wound up coming down the stairs and going to the front, but he used to do that old Maynard thing where you're like, where is he? And he's I don't know where he's at. I saw Tool once, and you never saw him the whole time. He was behind like a white sheet with a light behind it, so all he was a shadow. You never saw him at all. Like the band was out there, and then he's like a shadow in the back on the wall, and he never showed his face the entire show. Usually at Tool, he's got like these two platforms on either side of Danny Carey, and he just goes from back and forth, and he stands up on top of these platforms. He's generally never out front, but he's out front in this one. I mean, it's his birthday thing, so. And then Primus plays the new song. It's called Little Lord Fentanyl. It's fucking amazing song, really good. But Maynard sings on it, so they played that, you know, and Maynard's out there most of the time. It was amazing. You should go for sure. If you haven't seen it yet, or if it's coming to your town or close to you, I highly recommend it. Like I said, I've seen all those bands separately multiple times, and this was the coolest thing. And Perfect Circle's playing everything you'd want to hear them play. Huh. Except for The Nurse Who Loved Me. They never fucking... That's one of my favorite songs. They never fucking play it. They didn't play it again. I was like, what the fuck, man? I'd like to hear them play that one time live. I don't know why they don't play it. But they played everything else that you'd want to hear. They didn't play Judith. They pulled Judith way out. I haven't heard them play that live for a long time. They play the Noose, play The Outsider, play Blue. All my favorite Perfect Circle songs they played. So it was amazing. Same as Pussyfur, they played everything. They played The Remedy, played The Humbling River, they play all the good songs. It was like a best of, greatest hits. Primus played Here They Come, and they played My Name Is Mud. They played Race Car Driver. What, you seen Tool and Primus? You never seen? Oh, you never seen A Perfect Circle? Oh yeah, no, yeah, and Pussyfur is really good too. But Perfect Circle, Howard L is amazing. He's an amazing guitar player. I don't know how, but Maynard is made that somehow managed to be in like 3 of the best bands of the whole generation. He's got 3 bands. They're all better than most people's one band. It's amazing how good he is. Ed, it's weird. He's not like I mean, he's a big, huge rock star, but he's not like a superstar. You know, he's not like, you don't see him talking about him on like, Entertainment Tonight and all this other bullshit, but he's one of the biggest rock stars on earth. It's like, I mean, he still manages to like keep it low key somehow. Personally, I don't think that he gets the credit he deserves. To me, he's one of the best artists of our generation. I said, if you just look at the sheer volume of material that's been produced and the quality of it, like I said, he's in 3 bands, and all of them are just as good as anybody's one band, And that's not hard. I mean, that's not easy to do, First of all, making a band in of itself is not easy. Get all the members and everybody you need and get them all on the same page. You get everybody fucking, it's fucking hard, man. to get the people that are willing to put the work in it takes to, produce volume of material. Sometimes you get moving. You start a band, you get moving real good, and you write a bunch of stuff, and then it just kind of hits a brick wall. You just kind of it doesn't grow anymore. Yes, he's a true entertainer. Yeah, but he's also a great writer and a great singer. Like just his singing ability in him itself is amazing. Like he's like the total package. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like he's just a good entertainer. He's a good entertainer, but he's talented. Like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, they're marginally talented, but they're really good entertainers. And it's like, no, he's everything. Like the lyrics that he writes and shit, and the like I said, his technical singing ability is off the chart. Like, it's not like he's a one-trick pony, And all the bands he's in, they all sound different. It's not like he made 3 versions of the same band. Tool does not sound like Perfect Circle. Perfect Circle does not sound like Pussifer. Like the only thread through all of them is Maynard is the vocalist. It's like I was watching these YouTube videos where this opera singer chick listens to rock music and like breaks down the singers. And a lot of times she would listen blind, like she never heard this stuff before. Some guy brings her things, and he brought her Tool, and she was listening to it. She was like, "Oh my god, this guy's fucking incredible." And she's like, "It's not." She said something that was interesting. She's like, "It's not like in Tool, especially." He doesn't sing like a singer would normally sing. Like he uses his voice as like another instrument in the band. He's layering different kinds of sounds on top of the music that is complicated. I mean, if you know Tool, it's not like 3-chord fucking rock music. it's it's like a noisescape painting, and then he doesn't just sing like a normal vocalist. He changes his voice to create different kinds of moods, and it's very fucking deep and technical. I've always considered him. Yes, and he makes wine. Yes. I don't know, but I don't really give a fuck about the wine thing. I'll be honest. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's like I've always thought that Maynard was one of the best artists. I seen him first in the early '90s, and I was like, this is the best live band I've ever seen. Tool, and I've been going to see him ever since, and following. And then, what's weird is that my friend had Undertow, and he was like trying to tell me how great this band was, and I was listening to Undertow, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. But you don't really get how good they are until you see them play live, and then you're like, Jesus Christ, like these may be the best musicians on the planet. They're really good and like different, like same as System of a Down. You hear System of a Down and you go, this is different and unusual, But when you see them play live, and they do all that stuff, and they sound just like the album, and you're like, man, these guys are, on another level of. And I was lucky. I saw them both at the same concert. It's like Ozfest '92 or some shit. The Tool was on the main stage. The System of a Down was on the second stage. And they've been my favorite bands ever since then, because I was blown away by how good they were live. And Tool, has all the video and all that shit. At this time, System of a Down was not famous. The only album they had was the Hand album, the first one. And they didn't have any fancy lights or anything like that. And they looked dirty, like they'd been driving around in a van, for 6 months. And playing every day, you know what I mean? Like they just looked dirty and sweaty, and they just came out, but they were so fucking good. I was like, man, this might be the best band I've ever seen. And then Tool played, and I was like, well, that might be the second best band I've ever seen. But Tool has all the bells and whistles, and they had that at that time too. They had all the fucking video, and their stage show is amazing too. That's the thing about Tool is everyone in the band, well, not everybody, but Adam and Maynard are both artists, like as well as musicians. They're also artists. So conceptually and just presentation wise, they're just so much better than most other bands, like because they know about visual presentation and showmanship. And that's why you say Julia says Maynard's an entertainer, but in Tool he doesn't really hardly do any of that. Like he tries to stay in the background. Oh, you never seen System of a Down? You need to. They're playing a bunch of shows. I hadn't seen them in years, and then they got together finally and started playing shows. They haven't made a fucking album, but they were playing shows at least, and they came to Vegas, so I went and saw them. It was supposed to be Faith No More and System of a Down, but Mike Patton got sick or something. And so they had to drop out. So they got Korn. I was like, oh, Korn is good too. Jonathan Davis, he's another one. Entertainer. That guy, the guy's really good. Front man. See, I used to do that shit, but never fucking, never got there. I tried though. I tried real hard. Through numerous bands. Of course, of all this, what, System of a Down? Korn? I mean, all those bands in the 90s. Deftones. Deftones is another one. If you've never seen Deftones, they're really good too. They were one of the first bands I ever saw. Was like, wow, you could be really, really heavy and still, like, the thing I never liked about metal was the fucking vocalists. I mean, the heavier you get, the more it's just, which is cool sometimes, but it's like, yeah, like I like to hear a guy singing, I mean, you hear the Deftones, you're like, man, they're heavy as fuck, but yeah, he's still singing, like, and he's screaming and yelling too, but he's singing, like, and he's a really good singer. And you're like, hey, it can still be melodic and shit, even if it's heavy as fuck. And the band I was in at that time was like a rap metal band, it was like Limp Bizkit or something, like, I mean, I wouldn't say we sounded like Limp Bizkit. We're much heavier than Limp Bizkit. I mean, the guitars were much more metal. But the same idea, metal and rap. And I always wanted to, like I said, I'm like Maynard and Chino are the if you want to say, like, influences. Like I used to rap, so it was a pretty easy to transition from just like rapping over hip hop beats to rapping over metal. But as far as music wise, I always had numerous ideas of what you could do, because there's so many different ways to as a vocalist, there's so many different ways you can contribute to the sound of the band. And then I started, as I got older, I started experimenting with electronics and effects, and I had a bullhorn. I was used to do all kinds of things to change the. I guess like Maynard, like that girl was saying about Maynard, where you're just trying to use your voice as another instrument in the band instead of just straight singing. Like Al Jorgensen, like the way Ministry, the way his voice, his voice processor, it sounds amazing, and it fits perfectly with the band. You never hear Al Jorgensen like just singing without his effects processor on. It's always has it on. It's part of his. It's part of his thing. It's part of the sound of the band. Is his the way his vocals are processed. You never hear Al Jorgensen just singing through a straight microphone. There's a photo of me with that on the wall here. What, my bullhorn? Yeah. We were pretty good. We just could never get the break that you need. And then when I left Broken Head, I started playing bass and jar. I really thought that we could do something, but they blew up their own band. Like that's the thing is. That's when I started doing comedy. I was like, all right, I don't know if I'll ever play music again, because when you're in a band, you're putting your life in the hands of other people. And you can only go as far as everybody from. I wish that you'd send me some of those pictures if you have some, because I don't have any pictures of me in the band. I would like some. Charlie has a bunch too, but he never gave them to me yet. But you're like I said, you're putting your future in the hands of other people. You can only go as far as the other people are willing to go and contribute, and it's not even like, everybody has lives and things to do. So not everybody was like me, who just I dedicated my entire life to doing stuff. It's like I want to achieve these goals. So I didn't have kids. I didn't get married. Even now, my entire life is focused on what I'm doing, what I'm trying to accomplish, and it's too late for me now. I can't have kids or anything. I don't want any. That I managed to avoid all those trappings, but everybody else didn't, and real life eventually gets in the way of things. And like I said, you have to find people. It's hard to find people. Yes, please, Questel. Send me some pictures. Because I don't have any. I try to tell people, I've done all these things, but I don't have any proof of it. Except the records we made. I mean, I do have those. We're like, hey, we made these records. But I don't have any pictures of us playing, shows. I would like that. I would like to have some. I saw a picture of me. This guy sent a picture of me. I guess it was around 2000, early 2000s. And my fucking hair is jet black, dude. I mean, black. Looks like I fucking dyed it. Like, it's jet black. And my beard, everything black. Just black. And like, damn, man, the fucking gray came on quick. I mean, it's so black, it looks like I painted myself with Just for Men, but I didn't. That was my natural hair. It was black as fuck, but I kind of forgot how dark it was. It was dark. I was like, oh, wow. You have a photo on Miss Graphic? Yes, I'd like to see that, please. I mean, that's the only real band. I mean, I was in Puddinhouse, but and I was in Jar, but Broken Head was my main band. We were together for 10 years or something. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it was my friend was playing guitar and I was talking shit over top of it. It's called the Bruce Leonard Project. That's when I first started doing comedy after I had stopped. After Hedberg died, I quit doing comedy. It was like a negative association, I guess. It wasn't fun, you know. It was depressing at the time. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a break from doing comedy, and then I started playing music again and shit. And then before I knew it, was like 2 or 3 years I hadn't done comedy at all. And I was like, man, I need to start doing comedy again. So my friend Chris Lee was the sound guy in Dirty Jack's, the club that I was running, and he plays guitar. So I was like, hey, why don't you just play like jazz blues guitar, and I'll just talk shit over top of it. We'll do it in between bands sometimes, you know, because I own this place, so I can get up there whenever I want. I just put myself into the show lineup. And I started doing that. We go up there for about, 5 or 10 minutes. And I just started trying to do comedy again, and then I realized that I missed it. So then I started all over again. Another time I started all over from scratch. I threw all of my fucking all material out, and I started going to open mics like I like I had never done comedy before. I started writing all kinds of new shit. Built myself back up. But this time I made it all the way. Like I said, I built myself all the way up to featuring again, and then made myself. Yeah, the Mad Frog's gone. I went to that last night. I met Chris there, and Charlie came. Talked to Iden a little bit. It's sad when places like that go. There's like chapters of this city, like, because before Mad Frog, it was called Corey's Blues Bar, and it was all blues and all the blues players. Like, there used to be a good blues scene in Cincinnati. All those scenes are gone, man. I said the modern world has killed off all that stuff. It's kind of sad. Where's music gonna come from now? Besides some corporate fucking studio. It's not like it used to be, like I keep thinking that sooner or later there'll be another punk or grunge, kind of fucking explosion of where people say they're sick, get sick of all this corporate, consumerism, and where everything's just a product. No, that's what I'm saying, Costello. It's like, it's hard. I mean, they still have Mansion Hill and they have blues down there, but there's not places like Dirty Jack's or something, where or Mad Frog, where like you can go and see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's on the internet, and there are people on the internet, but I'm saying that's not the same as like playing a big show. And if you really like music, you'd go to these clubs where you knew that undiscovered bands were going to be playing, and where you could hear new, fresh music. Now it's not like that. It's like the corporation puts together another Linkin Park or something. Like all these bands sound the same. It's. And I don't know. I just really don't like a lot of this new music. I don't. I mean, they say that's what happens to you when you get older, but I don't believe it's because I'm getting older. I believe it's because this music is garbage. Most of it. And all these bands, I say all these new bands, they all sound the same. It's all overproduced, and it just doesn't have. I don't know. It doesn't connect with me emotionally, I guess. And then to me, that was always the most important thing about music was how it made you feel, um, or the feelings that are coming out of the players. The vocalists and the guitar players, and just the music itself. It's like if it doesn't have feeling, it's nothing. And to me, to all this corporate music is just it's too robotic. Everything is just perfect. It's like that's why punk rock was cool because it's just mostly pure emotion. It's not even about like the technical ability of the players. It's about feeling and mostly anger and angst or whatever. But I'm saying if you can project that out. One time, not the Bart version of Broken Head, but the original version with Andrew is our guitar player. We went to Florida and played some shows, and we played this show. We were the last band, and we were playing, and all these people were running around in circles, in front of us, and were mosh pitting. It was fucking amazing. And all of a sudden, the floor was empty. I'm like, what the hell happened? It's like, oh, they all just went right out the door and started fighting in the parking lot. And I was like, fucking awesome. I have successfully projected my real feelings out into the crowd. At that time, I was a pretty angry dude. Yes, Costello. We were playing Split Pea at the end of the show, and fucking, they said we started a riot. It was like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever fucking done. Music was always like therapy to me. I mean, playing it especially. It was like, what, instead of being angry, violent person that wanted to beat people up or whatever, I just go and start yelling, screaming in the microphone. And when the band play, you could let it all out. You can fucking jump around. You let all your fucking frustrations out. And pour it right into that music. And then when people listen to it, they feel those feelings. They go, ah! You go, I'm getting pretty good at this. Start a riot. Anyway, it was really good. So yeah, if you haven't seen Sasanta and it's coming to your town, you should go see it. It's really good. I highly recommend it. One of the best shows I've seen in a long time, that's for sure. And I mean, there is no denying. Like those are some of the best musicians on earth right now. I mean, no denying it whatsoever. Like say Claypool's one of the best bass players on earth. He is the best. I haven't seen anybody better than him. I mean, he does things and you're like, what the fuck? How does he make that sound? It's like, I don't know, but he makes it look easy too. You're like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, I don't know people who could even do that, let alone do that and be like, man, like it's nothing. And like I said, Billy Howardale, great. Great guitar player. I said Maynard's one of the best singers on earth. I mean, just to be able to play with those guys, you got to be superior talent, And that guy that won the Primus job, I mean, think about how many drummers probably tried to join Primus, like. He's the best guy they could find out of, probably 1,000 dudes who were all really good, It's like, it's, but anyway, you should go see it. I've been trying to, this weekend I didn't really watch anything. I tried to disconnect myself from all this shit. I went to the concert, and on Sunday I went to the Taste of Cincinnati, and I went down and try to eat some food, you know, like the Taste of Cincinnati is a pretty cool festival because it's just all a bunch of restaurants from all around the city, all gathered in downtown, and you go down there and it's like $8. You can get a little plate of this, a little plate of that. You can try all kinds of stuff. I had some Caribbean food and some this thing called a Korean barbecue, Korean barbecue pork empanada. Oh my god, it was unbelievable. You're like, man, these sandwiches are good. Too bad you're gonna get deported. They're walking around. Are you ice down there? Are you eating Caribbean food? It's like, yes, but I assure you I'm an American. Come with us. This was funny. Trump demanded from Harvard. Demanded. They gave him a list of all the foreign students at Harvard. And you're going, wait a minute. Like, you gave him visas, bro. Don't you have a list? It's like, why are you asking for something you already fucking got? Oh, yeah, because you're an idiot president. It's like, fucking idiot. And the same thing, it was like, tariffs on the EU, 50%. And then 2 days later, all right, but 90-day pause on... How many 90-day pauses we got going right now? We got a 90-day pause on China. Now we got a 90-day pause on EU. It's like, they don't know what they're doing. And he changes his mind every 5 fucking minutes. Meanwhile, Putin, Murray says, oh, I'm going to end this war in 24 hours. Only I can do it, he says. Meanwhile, Putin's bombing the shit out of there. I guess the all caps tweet of "Stop it, Vladimir," didn't work. It's like he's like, I don't know what happened to Putin. I know what happened to Putin. He's Putin. You're so fucking stupid. You think that this guy, like the other guy went and talked to him, his golf buddy. He comes back. Oh, I like him. I think he's an all right guy. You think he's an all right guy? He's bombing the shit out of people, civilians. It's like kidnap children, poisoning people, his enemies. It's like, oh, this guy in London that he don't like. He sends guys out there to poison them to death. They're like, oh, this guy's a good guy. It's like, these are the dumbest fucking people on earth. We put them in charge of our country. What do you think is going to happen? He's on the truth social. Stop it, Vladimir, what are you doing? It's like, what are you doing? Why don't you fucking do something? You're only the president of the United States, the most powerful nation on earth. You're tweeting, please stop. What a weak piece of shit this guy is. I don't know why anybody ever got this. I mean, because he's a blusterous bully. They think that he's strong, man. He's not a strong man. He's a pussy. He's a bully. But most bullies are pussies. As I said, Vladimir Putin. I mean, you could call him a bully. He's not really a bully. He's a real strong man. He's a real piece of shit who will fucking bomb the shit out of your country. He's a ruthless motherfucker. He is not tweeting out in the middle of the night how he hates Russian Beyonce or whatever. It's like, this guy's a fucking clown. And why anybody doesn't see that, I don't understand. I still want to turn. My mom's watching the Fox, same shit. Oh, Trump is the greatest. And all people are, all the CBS anchor is going off on him. They're just bitter. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, they said Remember how conservatives cried and cried and cried and cried about free speech? How J.D. Vance went to Europe and told them that that he's more worried about them than he is the Nazis because he won't let the Nazis post their shit on Twitter or whatever. And then they had the gall today. They said they're going to stop enrolling foreign students in all universities and make them go through this check with the process where they check them and they're going to thoroughly check all their social media and shit. And you're like, dude, you're fucking free speech. My ass. You don't give a fuck about free speech. You want to control what people say and think. And yet lecture other people. Like, so that's what I'm saying about these people with where I was saying before. If somebody's got a flag pin on, fuck them. They're a fascist. These people just hide behind the flag and the patriotism so that they can fucking stomp all over you and pretend like they're the real Americans and you're not. It's like they don't care about the ideas of America. They don't give two fucks about it. As a matter of fact, they've given up on it. Because they know that their shitty ass fucking viewpoint sucks and most people don't share it. And so if everything was fair and free, they would be marginalized. That's the real fear. And that's, I said, that's why a lot of this stuff is going on. You think this is a coincidence? Like he wants to control the universities and the schools, and they want to brainwash your children. Under the guise of, like I said, what they say is, oh, they've been brainwashing, the liberals have been brainwashing your kids. And the truth is not that. I don't know if you went to school or went to school. Nobody have told you in school to be a liberal or be a conservative. Right? They teach you history and math and social studies with history. I never had a teacher to try to convince me that I should be one spectrum or the other of the political spectrum. Now, I'm not saying there aren't any out there, but that's another thing they do is they find the one guy who's out there, and then they go, look, this one kooky teacher, this is what they're all like. You know, they're not all like that. It's just like the immigrant thing. They go, oh, there's one gang member murderer. They're all like that. They're not all like that. That's how right-wing politics works. Especially Fox. That's what I was saying before. Like, that's why they only have Laken Riley to use as a cudgel. Because she's the one girl who got murdered by an immigrant. They jumped onto that story. And they're like, oh, look at that. Laken Riley this and Laken Riley that. And it was like, hey, if there's so many murderers and gang member immigrants, then how come you don't have another case? Who else got murdered by immigrants? Well, I mean, now it's, don't take it like everybody will run same thing. They'll go, oh, he's callous. He doesn't care that she got murdered. No, that's horrible. And I said that before. And that guy should go to the Seacott prison or wherever the fuck you want to send him. I don't give two fucks what you do with this guy. You know, but what I'm telling you is that they want to paint this picture that like these guys are running all over the place, just killing people all over, you know, and they got to take away your rights to protect you from these people. Yes. Yes, Julia says the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, the fascist checklist, are making their dreams come true to control everyone who doesn't like them. Yes, exactly. While they pretend that they're the real patriots, you know, while they try to fundamentally change what America really is because they know that they won't survive in the modern world. Because, like I said, all conservatism is resistance to change. They don't want anything to change. Matter of fact, they want to roll everything back to the way it used to be when they was in charge, when white Christianity controlled everything. That's when the world was perfect. Perfect. It was not so fucked up that, you know, Jim Jones could talk thousands of people into going down to Ghana and drinking poison Kool-Aid to try to escape this fucking hellhole that they have created. And trying to escape that, they just escaped into something worse. But I'm saying, if white Christian America was so perfect, you wouldn't have had any of that stuff now, would you? You wouldn't have had the Manson family. You wouldn't have had all these fucking, I thought it was perfect. Well, if we could only separate the races again. Just everything would be perfect. It's a fallacy. It's a fantasy. Like it's always been a fantasy, and that most right wing shit is just that. It's like fear mongering and, like I said, straight up bullshit. They lie. Like, I love how they call themselves Christians. They fucking lie constantly. Mike Johnson, he's like one of the biggest Bible thumping Christians on the planet. You see him, oh, God talked to me and told me to do this. He called me to be the new Moses, he says. And you go, really? You think that? A guy who thinks I should be locked up in a mental institution. It's like, God's talking to me. He told me I need to pass this bill that adds $4 trillion to the deficit. Cut everybody's Medicare, because that's what God told me to do. So, dude, you're fucking insane. I used to ask that question all the time. It's like, you read the Bible, and God used to talk to people all the time. He used to come down and talk to them. And you're like, when did that stop? When did God just hang up the phone and go, well, fuck these people? At a certain point, like I said, it became, if you started telling people God was talking to you, they'd lock you up in a fucking mental institution. That's until Ronald Reagan got rid of all the mental institutions, and now you can become Speaker of the House. God's talking to me. He told me we gotta have these votes in the middle of the night. Anyway, my point being, so he calls himself a Christian, right? Of the highest order. And he goes on the Sunday talk shows and they ask him questions and he fucking lies his ass off constantly. The guy says, asks him, well, what if, I just have a feeling that if a Democratic president had a meme coin dinner, that you would be outraged about it. And he's like, well, I don't want to talk about something I don't know anything about. What are you talking about you don't know anything about it? Please. It's like, did God tell you to fucking bullshit lie every day too? Like, what the fuck, dude? These people are fake. That's what I'm saying. Their whole fucking flag pin patriotism and their fucking Bible thumping shit. Like, dude, you don't fucking follow any of this shit. You lie constantly. Call yourself a Christian. It's like, dude, you fucking can't talk without lying. And you follow this piece of shit. Fucking rapist. Accused pedophile even. God knows he's fraudster, a fucking criminal. That's what I'm saying is we're at the point now where the biggest problem is not that Donald Trump is a criminal. We all know that. We've all known that for a long time. The biggest problem is nobody fucking cares. And in fact, they empower him to be even more of a criminal piece of shit. With no restraints. And then they say, oh, we're Christians. Yeah, okay. I'm more of a Christian than they are, and I'm not even fucking religious. That's what I'm saying is, the more you're around it, the more you realize that religion is just a series of traditions and rituals designed to make people feel like they're better than they really are. You think that, Julia? She says Megan Mike Johnson's homosexual, can't come to terms with it. Right? His fake Christianity is keeping him from coming out and actually being happy. Yeah, or Lindsey Graham. Come on, we all know Lindsey Graham. It's like, dude, why don't you just fucking... Oh, he's totally not gay. It's like... That's the other part of it is Republicans. A lot of Republicans have always been that way. When you look at the statistics, whenever there's a RNC, the grinder thing goes way off the chart because they're all in the closet. That's why I never understood like the log cabin Republicans, whatever. Like we're gay Republicans. Like, sure, they hate us and want us eradicated off the earth, but we agree with them on tax policy. it's like, that's how fucked up people are. They're willing to, it's like MAGA. Like a lot of this MAGA, if you look now, they're willing to sacrifice themselves for the cause. Can you imagine for 1 second if a Democratic president told those people down there that he wasn't going to help them in tornadoes and floods and shit? Like he cut off Arkansas, he cut off North Carolina. He ain't going to give no money to St. Louis for their tornado damage. Can you imagine what Fox News and these people would be saying about a Democrat president who decided not to fucking help out people? They would be crucifying him every second of every day. You think wearing a brown suit was bad? That's the problem with this whole situation. It's such a fallacy of bullshit. Trump does all these things, no one gives a shit because he's their guy. And if a Democrat was trying to do all these things, they'd be like, oh, they'd be trying to burn down the Capitol. See, what people don't get is we're way past the old days when the Democrats and Republicans could work together. And well, this is what's going to happen from now on. All right? We're way over here on the right now, right? What's going to happen is the Democrats are going to get back. We're going to go way over here on the left. And then we're going to fight, and then who gets reelected again, whoever it is, we're going to swing over here, we're going to swing over here, we're going to swing over here, until this country just falls apart. Because, like I said, you can't run a country like this. It's not going to happen. We're at the point where we almost need to split this country in two. Because, I said, these people aren't going to stop. I saw a thing today. It said Trump's approval rating is, I think this poll was from before the weekend, but still, it said his approval rating was at 46%. What? 46%? That's almost half the country. Approves of what he's doing? I said, we need to split this country in half. Because unless you want to live under fascism, as I said, I'm kind of over the whole, it's never going to come back. This guy was saying today is true. They hate liberals or whatever so much that they don't care what he's doing. The guy was saying they'll watch like MSNBC and shit just to watch them be outraged that he's breaking the law and taking away your rights, because they just take pleasure in the fact that it's disturbing you. They don't even care. They're also giving away their own rights, but they don't care. You know why? Because they're groveling bootlickers who They do it like they used to say, "Oh, you sheep, you just do whatever you're told." Blah 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 blah. It's like you're the ones who bow down and lick the boots, bro. You do anything this guy says. If he told you to walk off a cliff, you do it. You're fucking have the nerve to fucking talk shit about other people. It's like, go fuck yourself. It's not even. You can't even like wrap your head around how insane this whole thing is. It's insane. Because I don't give a shit who you are. You start talking about suspending habeas corpus, taking away people's due process rights, just basically, you just take the Constitution and set it on fire, bro. And don't ever talk to me again about you're a patriot and you love America and shit, because you don't. You don't. And it's like I said numerous times, this system is too weak to protect itself from these people. You see. Like, oh, you can't break the Constitution. The only thing, if you think about it, really, it's an amazing miracle that this country has lasted 250 years, because you see the Constitution is really nothing but a piece of paper. And nobody's really just had the balls to violate it. All right, so Don Ace Watson says, I'm confused why you're saying this, but I think you have a good point about Trump. Things that are going on around the world now is insane, yet I am watching this because I'm getting so tired of it. Crazy as a shithouse rat. I just finished my last 12 years of work at getting my Social Security. Finally got it, and now I'm waiting for the appointment to receive my Social Security back pay. And I'm staying sane because of Tool, and the last concert I went to was in the excellence of perfect timing. Maybe you should try it. I just went to Sasanta on Saturday night. It was amazing. I mean, I don't understand. I don't get what you must have came at the second half of the show, because I spent the first half of the show just talking about Sasanta and music in general. And then, but generally, this show is about current events and what's happening. I'm with you. That's what I said. I tried this weekend. I tried to shut everything off, because it does get to you. It does make you go crazy, because you're just watching the disintegration of your country right in front of your eyes. And like I said, there's lots of people that are fucking cheering it on. That's the part I don't get. It's like you would think that we could all coalesce around, our rights. Everybody, right, left, conservative, Democrat, like you're free because of these rights. You just willy-nilly give away your rights. Then what do you got? You got nothing. And then I got my general point was, it's a miracle that this country has lasted 250 years, because the only thing that held it together was people's respect for the Constitution. Even the most conservative person was like, we have to operate within the bounds of the Constitution, right? With Trump and these new guys, the Congress, they don't give two fucks about that. They've obviously thrown it out. They said the Constitution is a hindrance to what they want to do, which is fundamentally change this country into something else, while they wear their flag pins and pretend that they're patriots. That's the part that galls me the most. Is, like I said, they don't give two shits about the Constitution. And it's just like they call themselves Christians, but they lie all the time. Because it's all fake. They're not patriots. They're not really Christians. They're white supremacist fascists who hide behind Jesus to make themselves seem like they're not as dangerous as they really are. Like I said, this is all driven by the Heritage Foundation, which is really just the leftover remnants of the Confederacy. And people will say, oh, you're crazy, you think that. Just look at the history of the Heritage Foundation, look what it is. That's what it is. They're descendants of Confederates who've always had a grudge on for the federal government, because the federal government took away their way of life, which was having slaves and shit. Like I said, if you ask me, Sherman didn't burn enough. Should have burnt the entire South right to the fucking ground. Fuck each and every one of these people. And I said, the way they let that corpse fucking live. And now you see, we've got to deal with it again. You're like, oh, I thought I got rid of this. Nope, it's like Frankenstein's monster. It's like back. Now I got the hoods off and the red hats. But it's the same fucking people. With the same bullshit, tired rhetoric that they've always had. America first. When you have a president that calls half your country scumbags, you're in real trouble. As a nation. The fact that, like I said, 46% of people approve of the way he's handling shit tells you I don't know how, you know. I don't know what you can say, like, of where we're headed. I don't know. You know. We're here to try to make sense of it and try to, like I said, you can't just turn it off, can you? You can't just pretend it's not happening, can you? That's what we were talking about before. It's like, what is your responsibility? You know, like you could leave the country, you could just shut out and try to navigate through this the best way you can, you know, and hope that you don't get picked up for posting something that they don't like. Or you could say, this is my country, I'm going to fight for it. But what does that even mean at this point? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you ask me, it's about time to just split it. Don says, yes, I'm going to Santa and expect it to be fabulous. Religious freedom is a constitutional right. Do you think the government is going to change that? Well, fuck that. Protect, see you smoke a cigarette, do a vape. Live a bit longer than smoking. Well, you know what? Look at this world, bro. It's like, I ain't too interested in longevity at this point. And I've been smoking so long. Ain't no stopping now. But I get it. I do appreciate you, like, caring about my health and well-being. I do appreciate that. See, there is humanity left. That's the thing, is they're trying to take away our humanity and turn us into something else. And we got to remember who we are. What makes humanity great? It's not hate and bitterness and divisiveness and shit. It's definitely not a president that calls everybody scumbags. You scumbags. Here he says, I'm going to take away all the money from Harvard and give it to trade schools. Because who needs scientists and doctors in this world? We need more welders. I'm trying to, like I said, dumb everybody down so that they're more easily controlled. All that's happening is the really brilliant people are not going to come here anymore. America first means America alone, which eventually will mean America last. And that's why what these people don't understand is all these people that hate globalization this and globalization that, and we got to isolate. Yeah, it's like, dude, there's no going back. There's no going back. Globalization is here. And you know what? How do you think this country started? Globalization. The English would just stayed on their little island. None of this would have happened. There's like globalization's always been happening. Where they had trade routes and shipping routes all over the fucking world before they even had electricity. And these people are like, oh, globalization, this is bad. It's like if humanity wants to evolve to the next level, globalization is like we have to become one species. It's got to be like Star Trek, where we just become Earth, and then we start looking out. Like, let's go to space or do something, as a species. Not keep doing this fucking tribal bullshit that we've been doing over and over and over. Like I said, that's why the aliens don't come here. They're like, these people are not ready for the next level of thought. I mean, look at the most powerful man on earth is a fucking moron. That's an objective truth. He's such a moron. They took down all the transcripts of the speeches he gives because they're so nonsensical that if you start reading them written down on a piece of paper, you go, what the fuck is this? What's this guy talking about? So they took down all the transcripts because, like I said, if you put it on a piece of paper, it really looks crazy. Like, this looks like the ramblings of an insane person, because it is. It's like, tariffs on, tariffs off. It's like, they don't have a plan. They're just following the whims of this crazy old man. It's like, who changes his whims every fucking other day. Don says, I'm not telling you what to do. I just suggest you try it. I like your points and ideas of better education. Go to a different country. Yeah. Believe me, I've thought about it. It's like, I don't know, I live around so many fucking collectively stupid people. Who don't, like I said, who pretend that they love America, but yet don't know anything about the Constitution and their own rights as an American citizen. So ignorant of it that they just willingly give it away. It's like, and like I said, it's a miracle that the only thing that's been holding this country together for 250 years is people's respect for that piece of paper. You see, it only took one person. Well, I mean, it's way more than one person, but I'm saying, ever since Nixon, I think, the right wing gave up on the Constitution. They were like, well, they got rid of our president because he was a criminal and broke the law. Well, then, we just changed the laws. We got to empower. That's where the unitary executive theory comes from. We're like, well, we just got to totally empower the president to do whatever the fuck he wants. It's like, yeah, but that's not America. Wow, it's a small price to pay for power, I don't know, man. I'm with you, though, bro. Don, it can drive you crazy. And you gotta, I've said that on this show a million times. Like, this show, I started this show because I wanted to talk about what was going on and document somehow my perspective on all of it. But I agree that it's hard to wrap your head around it. It's hard to come to grips with what can you do, I've started to try to, like I said, just go to little protests and do little things. I'm doing this. I write a Substack. All you can do is do your little thing. Like, what did somebody say? Was it Bill Crystal? Or no, it's David Frum. He said, everybody's got their own little bucket of sand, and that's all you can do is throw your little bucket of sand into the into the pile. And if there's enough of it, we'll build a wall, and protect ourselves from this shit. And like, that's really all you can do until, they take the gloves off and we start fighting for real. And, we all hope that doesn't happen. But if you know anything about history, it could happen. Um, so I try to just be prepared for all possibilities. But in the meantime, I do stress that. Like you got to try to live life. You got to still try to enjoy yourself. You got to still, I said, try to see the beauty in the world, even though we're living in a dark place. That's all there is, man. That's all there is. That's all you got. And I'll be back Thursday, 6 o'clock, and then I think I'm gonna have to do Friday again instead of Saturday, because Saturday night I'm going to see, this is a busy weekend. I might not be able to do a Friday or Saturday show. I might do my show on Sunday. How's that? Because Friday night I'm going to see Jon Stewart with my dad. And then Saturday night I'm doing comedy in Sydney, Ohio. So I have a dog, Questel. My dog is, yes, my life at the moment. She helps keep me going. I always say that. If you have a dog, you're never alone. Never truly alone if you have a dog. That's one beautiful thing about dogs. They will give you unconditional love, and you do feel it. It's not quite like having a person that loves you, but it's good enough that you don't feel alone. You know, and that's what the most part. The most important part is that you don't feel alone. And you're not alone. And I said, thank you, Don, for tuning in. I hope you'll come back. I do this, I said, 3 times a week. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 o'clock Eastern, which is 9 o'clock Pacific. I'm sorry, 3 o'clock Pacific. See, I'm adding instead of subtracting. And I'll be back on Thursday at 6 o'clock. Thank you for watching. And like I said, Don, thank you, and hope you'll come back. I do this all the time. And take care. I'll see you on Thursday. Standing there.